Our team was a family this year, and you can tell. By far, the best team chemistry in the locker room.
We get paid to put a product on the field, but there's a true, real love for one another and a real support for one another, and I think that's what makes it work.
For the first half of the 2014 MLS season, the LA Galaxy looked like anything but champions.
Sometimes you go through a period in any season that things are not going too well for you. I certainly wasn't worried. We have the same team that we've had for a few years, and we've done well in them previous years, so I knew that it was only going to matter of time.
By the end of July, the four-time champions were barely hanging on to the final playoff spot in the West.
The one thing I figured out is to position yourself to win the MLS Cup, you need to make the playoffs. So that's obviously the focus. And how we get there, there's a lot of variables that go into play. Now get your timing down, be organized, know what you want to do here. At the hard area to defend.
I think you have to give credit to Bruce with just figuring out what the best way for us to play was, and that was really the 4-4-2 with the dime in the middle with our outside backs going forward. So I think it started there.
Robbie Rogers was inserted into the starting lineup at left back, a position he'd never played before in his career.
I think adding Robbie Rogers to the back line was one of the great position changes I've seen in a long time.
Rogers steals. Robbie Rogers over for Donovan.
Also emerging in the Galaxy's new formation was Gyasi Zardes.
Oh, yes! That was magnificent!
Only 22 years old in just his second season, Gyasi took a new spot up top alongside veteran striker Robbie Keane and led the Galaxy in goals from that point forward.
Gyasi Zardes had an amazing breakout year. We put him up top as a forward. We no longer put him out wide. He thrived. He scored goals. He was linking up with Robbie Keane.
Robbie takes it to the area, plays it across, scores! Number 2 on the night for Gyasi Zardes.
The second half of the season, I really gelled with Robbie Keane up top, and I listened to all his tips and advice.
Zardes! Oh, that was simply fabulous!
The next change would come from the Galaxy's most legendary American, Landon Donovan, when he was cut from the U.S. national team for the World Cup.
The whole Landon Donovan thing with the national team, it was a shocker, but we showed our support to him.
The support I've received has been really overwhelming.
Playing forward to Landon Donovan. Donovan finding Robbie Keane. This one's good. Keane tries to cut it back. Landon Donovan has set the record! 135 goals! And that is the new mark in Major League Soccer.
I thought with the World Cup, I thought it was a little unfair to him, but then the way that he bounced back and got the assist record and the goal record, and he was an all-star. He's the best American soccer player there is.
Everything stays on the field, let's go.
In August, Donovan announced that 2014 would be his last year as a professional soccer player.
I really wanted the chance to win one more trophy with the Galaxy. That was very important to me.
Donovan is there! He is going out as he came in, a goal scorer and a game changer.
The Galaxy's greatest challenge was yet to come.
During the year, you experience different things, and you gotta kind of have a good feel for how to deal with all the issues you face during a season. And there's no book you can go to tell you how to do it.
Galaxy defender AJ De La Garza and his wife Megan had their first child in August. He was a boy named Luca, and he had been born with a rare heart defect.
Last year was a special case. AJ's son Luca gets diagnosed with left heart syndrome, and him and his wife Megan are dealing with that, but they're not dealing with it alone. It affects our whole team.
You live with them as a family, and you go through a lot together. Of course, AJ's situation is completely different than anybody else's, and that was tough for everybody in the team to see a teammate going through that kind of situation.
I mean, I can speak personally how important my teammates were to me. You know, obviously I had the toughest year of my life, and those guys, they're like family. What I was grieving, they were grieving as well.
After just 7 days of life, AJ and Megan lost Luka.
I felt like Luka was my son, you know, and just losing him, that hit home to me as well, you know, and it's devastating. It's devastating. I feel like that family support from our teammates really helped us just stride forward.
I think family is important for players and for a team, and we have the greatest respect for that and honor those experiences that our players have. And the players demonstrate that when they have that time to deal with their personal lives, they give us a great effort.
Landon Donovan on his last appearance at Dick's Sporting Goods Park. And the LA Galaxy have come back from 3-1 down, and they now lead. It's 4-3 Galaxy.
Over the last 3 months of the season, the LA Galaxy surged to the second best record in the league.
Here's Keane, cuts it across. Donovan! Robbie Keane, and it's a beauty!
In the Western Conference playoffs, they remained unbreakable.
Scoop over the top for Donovan, who has his hat-trick. Sensational. Once more, with feeling, Landon Donovan.
We're not here for a draw, we're here to win the game. This is why we play the game, for moments like this.
Donovan. Juninho. Oh, it's gone in! It's an absolute jewel of a goal for Juninho. Well, it's all over, and Landon Donovan is in dreamland. He will get one more MLS Cup Final.
Okay, here we go, guys.
In the MLS Cup Final, the Galaxy were primed to become the first team to win the MLS Cup 5 times.
So let's get after it right from the start. We're going to press. Let's get the first goal, get the second goal. Keep it moving, right? Get the ball moving, play hard, back up each other.
More so because of what happened this season, we realized the importance and what was at stake and what we could accomplish. So much that when we stepped on the field that day that we there's no way we're going to lose.
Another championship. We're a championship franchise. Yeah. On 3 Galaxy. 1, 2, 3.
Galaxy trying to win their 5th MLS Cup. The Revolution trying to avoid losing their 5th and win it for the very first time.
The Galaxy's MLS Cup Final opponent was the New England Revolution. Led by Jermaine Jones, Lee Wynn, and Charlie Davies, the Revolution marched into the Galaxy's home stadium determined to become champions themselves.
I wanted to be aggressive that game, and I wanted to do it from the beginning and try to set a tone.
Robbie Rogers has been a revelation at left back. Here he is on the ball and bursting into the penalty area. Rogers, could it be a brilliant start? Oh, it's a deflection and off the line. Right off the bat, Rogers almost walked it into the back of the net.
To be honest, I should have scored, and the ball kind of bounced away from me, but Landon made a great pass and got in front of the goal, and unfortunately it didn't go in.
It's certainly a big play in the game, because if we'd gotten out of the gates with an early goal, I think the game would have looked a lot different.
Now it's Zardes driving on. Giassi Zardes back from Donovan. Two of them looked on the verge of opening up the defense.
It was a tough game. It was tough. They were good. I think we probably underestimated them maybe a small bit.
All a little helter-skelter at the moment.
I remember the play. Tierney had it at the left back position, and he had a perfect ball right in Charlie Davies' path.
That's a fine clearance for Charlie Davies, who's on the run here.
He's one of the fastest players in the league. You know, I was able to keep pace with him and make a good play on the ball in the box.
Davies, can he do it? He can't.
AJ Delagarza, my goodness.
At that point, we made a 40, 50-yard run already. I didn't think Charlie could push the ball any further, so I figured he was just going to shoot it there, so I went down and was able to block it.
What a saving tackle that was.
That was a huge play in the game. I mean, it could have easily been a goal, but AJ wasn't having it. I can tell you that much.
Charlie Davies times his run perfectly. You have to commit, and when you commit, make sure you win the ball first. Great tackle from AJ De La Garza.
After a scoreless first half, it would be the Galaxy's combination of experience and youth that would keep attacking in the second half.
I've been in the game long enough to know that, you go through a bad patch, you're not scoring goals, but you always know there's a light at the end of the tunnel, that if you keep getting chances, you're going to score.
I know I was on a goal-scoring slump, but I always thought positive, and I knew that I would bring something positive to the table during that game.
Game already has a different feel about it. Since the break, Ishizaki swinging it in, Zardes! Giassi Zardes, can he do it? Yes, he can! How sweet it is for the hometown hero from Hawthorne, California.
I see Stefan Ishizaki winding up for a cross, and as the ball is coming in, all I'm thinking is just a positive touch towards the goal, and the next touch, I could just bang it. Sure enough, I take a positive touch. I just give Farrell a little stiff arm. He falls down, and then a defender just runs straight past the ball. I just struck the ball with my left foot, and sure enough, it found the side netting.
Big, strong, holds off Andrew Farrell and buries it in the back corner. LA Galaxy get a big goal.
Just scoring in a final, it's breathtaking. Like, I still sometimes get the chills just watching that goal.
When we did get the first goal, we didn't feel we gave New England a lot of looks, so I felt like if we continued that way, but it just takes one moment, and they made the moment.
Here's Mullins suddenly popping into the penalty area. Good cut back to Christiani for the Revolution, has scored! What about that? Unbelievable!
I turned around and I was running towards the ball, and I wasn't running at full speed. I thought I was alone. All of a sudden I heard Junie yelling at me, and I turn around quickly and I see Patrick Mullins coming full speed. So I catch up to him, but I end up letting him turn a little bit too much, and he slips it to Tierney, who gets a shot off.
That goal is giving New England extra life, and LA right now are on their heels defending. It's amazing how the tides have changed here.
I felt like that game was really kind of the story of our entire season, and like we've done all year, we stuck through it together.
And we are going to extra time.
The end of regulation, the coaches were trying to take me out because they thought I was tired, but no way you want to come out of a championship game.
Two players on the field right now that can't move, trying to stretch out. They've given it all. Do they have any more left in the tank?
I remember just looking around and just watching everybody cramp up. Like, everybody's cramping, just going down, trying to play through it. And I'm like, wow, just watching everybody just give it their all. That was a moment. It was just like a battlefield.
Everyone clutching thighs and strained muscles.
Everyone was pretty much exhausted, but in those games, sometimes it isn't pretty, but you find a way to win.
After 20 minutes of extra time, it was the league's MVP who rose to the moment for the Galaxy.
I said, don't worry, I'll score, don't worry, I'll score. You just need to be compact as a team, you need to defend well, don't concede, and I'll score a goal. And that wasn't me being big cat, I knew that I'd get one chance and I would take it.
Now Keane, flag has stayed down, Robbie Keane, yes! The Keane killer instinct is still razor sharp, and he gives the Galaxy the lead.
I was trying to bring my experience and trying to reassure him that, listen, don't worry, it'll be okay. If I get an opportunity, I'll score, and I did.
It hasn't been the prettiest game for the MLS MVP, but all it takes is one, and Robbie Keane punishes the back line of the New England Revolution.
I remember watching replays of the goal, and you see him doing cartwheel, and then you see Alan Gordon pop into the frame doing cartwheels, and it's just amazing.
The Galaxy digging in here.
The last 5-6 minutes in that game felt like it was like 40 minutes.
Umbrello, it's a chip. Oh, and it's back off the bar.
Those last few minutes were crazy, holding on for dear life. They just kept on throwing long balls in there, just trying to make something happen, and we managed to hold on.
The final whistle sounds. The Los Angeles Galaxy are the first to 5.
It was just relief to to hear the final whistle and to be a champion again.
When that whistle blew, I mean, it was just couldn't believe it. Champions once again. I went and found AJ. It's been a crazy year for him with everything that he had been through, and I found him. I gave him a hug, and he was crying, and it was a special moment, for me, to see him react to winning in that way, because it meant that much to him. I'm getting the chills right now just thinking about it.
It was just a relief of everything that I've been through, that the team's been through, to get to where we ended at home in front of our fans. There's no better place to win a championship.
I think all the guys were just really moved, and again, just emotional to be able to share that with him and with Landon and with the other guys. It's just a great way to end the year after everything that we went through.
And Donovan gets his ideal swan song. He goes out a champion.
I learned so much from you, dude. I love you so much. It was a difficult last couple of years for Landon, so I think anytime you can leave the game like that, it's simply remarkable, so I was so pleased, man.
Ecstasy in Southern California for the LA Galaxy.
This whole season has just been a battle, and just to win with that group of guys all together, all as one, was just like, man, we really put our hearts out there, we sacrificed a lot for each other. I thought it was just a fairy tale ending.